Hi guys, welcome to another YouTube video of me doing another Todoroki scar. Feed my cat because he doesn't give any cares in the world. So today we're going to be doing scar that's technically scar number 1, and this one is a little bit more expensive. So you're just going to need, like an actual makeup brush. I just used this one. It's a blusher brush, but it works just fine. We got this NYX palette I got at Fred Meyer's for $10, I think, or somewhere around there. And we get fake blood that we can get, or you can get pretty much at like Walgreens, like after Halloween, for like 50 cents. Cosplay on a budget, my friends. And then some lipstick because I feel like it today. And then, we have my wig, but that'll be going on later. So for the starters, we are going to put on my wig cap. And there we go. We got my wig cap on, all tucked in and hopefully nice looking, assuming I don't screw this up. Lovely. Okay, so enough of my rambling. We're going to take this palette right here and we're going to be using only 2 colors. We'll be using probably either this dark brown right here or this one, and then we'll put a little bit of black on in the end. So that just gives it a little bit of a darker texture, and depending on how dark you want the scar to be, the more black and brown you'll do. If you just want it to be a bit lighter, then just do brown. And it just depends on the way you want it to look. I normally go for a lighter look, but sometimes it comes out darker, and you know what, that's okay, and that's just how it's gonna be. So we're gonna do dark brown, and you're just gonna do it in the general area of his scar. It doesn't have to be exact because you will be putting fake blood over this, which means this is just like an outline for you, but also it acts as a base. Also, why is this pink? No one knows. And you can get over your eye too, because this one's, meant for your eye currently. Probably not the way I'm doing it, but no one ever said I had to be good at this. Makeup. So that could be good for, if you wanted it like that. I'm gonna add different browns for different textures now. So now we're going on to this second brown I showed you, this one right here. This one, in case I couldn't show that correctly because I'm incompetent of anything. And as you notice, it's covered in the general area. Now I'm personally gonna add a lot of black to this one, and I just kind of dab it around, and then I brush it off. Oh, that's still a lot. Okay. And then you just kind of blend it in. Like, sometimes it'll be more prominent in other places, which is okay. You can balance it out. Wow, it is not having any of my stuff today. Okay. Anyway, so that's good enough for me. I'm not too picky about the undercoat, and that's all we really have to do for now. And then next, you'll take fake blood and go grab a paper towel. Now depending on what you're doing, you're gonna want, if you're using like toilet paper like I normally do because I don't want to go downstairs, you use like 1 or 2 just in case, because it will tear and yada yada, and none of that's fun. We don't want that. Well, I mean, it's gonna happen anyway. We can't really control it, so that's just a thing that's gonna happen. And just for good measure, because I feel like right here is really light, I'm gonna go through and make sure I'm happy with everything before I move on. Maybe almost like it's giving an ashy look. And see, I prefer that. It's a little bit darker, but you know what, that's okay. So you're gonna take this piece of paper and you're gonna take your fake blood and you're gonna put some on. Sometimes it'll come out more than you want, but I personally just start off with a bubble. As you can see, it's a bubble. And be careful around your eye, especially because this could hurt if it's gotten in your eye. So I suggest if you're going to start dabbing it on, you're going to want to start down here. Sometimes I start up here, but then it drips onto my eye, and that can cause problems just in case I'm not careful. So I'm going to start down here and just see. And the more you do, the more it gives an effect. This one's one of my personal favorites that I've done. But then again, I reiterate, be careful around your eye because this stuff is sticky. But if you notice, it'll start tearing. And that's not always fun. You don't always want that. But you can't control it. So that's why we have another one. So we are going to just put a little bit more on because this scar is almost done. It's a lot more spaced out like when I first started doing it, which I haven't done in a while, which is nice. See, it can get really close to your eye, and that isn't always the best thing because it'll get stuck on your eyelashes, which is really annoying, but here we are. And boom, you have a Todoroki scar. So it's really basic, and then, like I said, some light lipstick, assuming it's not dismantled. And that is literally it. This one's a lot faster, and all you really have to do before you put the wig on is wait for it to dry. So give me a hot second and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and it's mostly dry. Quote unquote. Mostly dry. And here's my Todoroki wig. So I don't have a wig head, so I just kind of shove my wig in a box. I'm not too worried about it currently. I just brush it out almost every time I use it, or comb it out a little bit, so it's not as frizzy, which is nice. And it's not as nice as it was when I got it, but I'm not sure what else I expected when I didn't get a wig head. Anyway, so you wait for it to dry because then it'll be a lot easier, so that way your wig doesn't stick, and it just fixes a lot of overall problems that could happen. And make sure you put your wig on the right way. I almost always start putting it on this way, but this is the behind. And if you're like me and think you look like a mushroom with this wig on, you're gonna want a beanie. Okay, so, yeah, let me put the wig on. Okay, now here comes the really fun part when you haven't styled your wig, like, officially. This is a painful process for me. But you situate your wig, and then you grab what you want in the middle. I normally grab more white than anything, but I also have to be really careful because my white likes to overly curl, and I don't appreciate that. What is that doing over there? We don't know. Okay, and then you'll take the rest of it and brush it back. And then you take this one, make sure it's all situated in the way you want it, like that for me, and there you go. You actually have your wig, and I don't look too bad today. So there you go, you have Todoroki and your wig, and then if you're me, bippity boppity boo, who are you? So yeah, thank you for watching and coming to my wig tutorial on Todoroki Scar, technically #1. So I'll catch you on the flip side.